Hi guys, how are you all today morning? Good morning. Today is 3rd August 2023. My name is TSV Raghavan and I live in Chennai, Tamil Nadu, India. This is my spiritual vlog on YouTube. Haribol TRSV nectar nectar nectar. In this particular vlog, in all my previous videos, we have been discussing about the knowledge and information that we have gleaned through the study of spiritual books, scriptures, contemplation on the material universe, and meditation on the spiritual universe. This particular video in this blog is no exception to that rule. In fact, it is a mere continuation of all that we have been doing in all my previous videos. Kindly subscribe to this video and this vlog and press the bell icon so that I may keep reminding you of all my previous and future videos. So let us continue with the topic for discussion for today's video. In the past few days, I have been contemplation and meditating within the self and trying to understand this material world better than I did before. In that process, I came across a very strange and intriguing theory or happening or occurrence that is very evident in this society. This occurrence or happening is that I have seen that those who are financially and otherwise well off in this society are inversely proportionate to the increase in the population of that society. In other words, the financial and other security or comfort or position or status of a particular person, country, community, or caste is inversely proportionate to its increase of population. To make it more clear, the more secure or spiritually inclined a person becomes, or a community or a state becomes, its population begins reducing. I will give a few examples. Look at the various countries of Europe, namely the Scandinavian countries, France, Spain, Germany, England, etc. If you watch them carefully, you will find that the population of the natives of the respective countries is far less than in those countries which are not yet economically or financially secure. In other words, population of such countries is increasing day by day, whereas the population of natives of progressive countries or communities is either stagnant or decreasing day by day. This is also happening to countries and continents like New Zealand, Australia, United States of America, Canada, etc. Even here, if you find, you will see that the communities who are native to that particular country are reducing steadily in population of that country or community. In fact, I am an Indian and I have seen this happening even in my own country. As for example, there are a few very intelligent, successful, and respectable communities in India whose population as a community or that of its family units keeps either reducing or remains stagnant for years. The communities are Parsi, Jews, Sindhis, Punjabis, and Sardars, and Gujaratis, Marwadis, etc. In such communities where there is a lot of progress, wealth, and property, the individual family units are not so populous. In fact, in such communities or families, adoption of children from orphanages, etc., is far more than it is in other communities. On the other hand, those communities who are striving to eke out a living have its own population increasing day by day. I was intrigued when I made this observation. I could not know why it is happening so. At that time, I remembered one particular story which I would like to share with all of you. Though before doing that, let me tell you that it is only a story and that it is not as per my own personal views. Further, I would like to tell you that I may only be generalizing this topic and there may be several exceptions to the rule, few and far between in the society. Further, I would like to tell you that China, which became so economically, financially, and politically powerful over the years, is finding to its dismay that its population has either become stagnant or is reducing day by day. Same is the case with one of the most developed countries in Asia, namely Japan. Even here, the population is not as much as probably it was a few decades back when the family units were larger than they are today. Anyway, let us go to this case history before proceeding further. There was one queen who was married to a very nice king, and they were ruling one principality. This queen had several servants, all female, one of whom was very close to this queen. So much so that this lady took liberties when talking to this queen. This queen had all the luxuries, comforts, and power, yet she had one problem that I will discuss later. Both this queen and that servant were childhood friends. They were of the same age, and both of them were brought up in that palace together. Later, what happened was that both this queen and this servant got married on the same day. When this happened, this queen, for several years after this, had no issues. This was something that was hanging out of this queen's side like a sore thumb. On the other hand, this female servant was born in that very occasion along with this queen, began giving birth to babies after babies, year after year. 10 years passed. By this time, this servant had 10 issues while the queen had none. This woman, this servant who was having a lot of liberty with this queen, suddenly became complacent, overconfident, malicious, and slightly vain. One day, under the pretext of empathizing with this queen, this servant said, "Alas, Queen, your Majesty, I am very pained at your plight. Both you and I were married together on the same day to different husbands. But see, 10 years have passed, but you are still issueless, whereas I have already become a mother to 10 kids within these 10 years. I feel so sorry for you. What I am getting in abundance is denied to you despite the power, glory, wealth, popularity, etc., that has been bestowed upon you." This woman, this servant, looked maliciously at the prince or the queen to see that queen's reaction. This queen was visibly pained by such a comment, a sarcastic comment from that servant. Now she had to reply to this ignoramus, this illiterate lout of a servant in such a way that she could hit the bull's eye without getting hurt herself. The queen replied, "You see, my dear friend, in this society there are several sinners and very less saints and good people. Sinners and saints pass on continuously when their lifetime is over. Sinners have to be punished, whereas saints and nice people or holy people must be rewarded for their good deeds. When this happens, of these saints who have passed on, some may be so self realized that they get liberated from this endless cycle of material birth and death, and so they pass on to another celestial, transcendental, and divine dimension. They don't come back. Only a few remain here whose cycle of birth and death is not yet over, and there is some karma that they have to work out in this material world before permanently getting liberated. Now comes to these sinners. They have to be chastised and punished for their not so good deeds. These people may be bad, but probably they have not yet qualified to be inhabitants of hellish kingdoms. They have to take birth in this human life in such a way that while they get punished for their karma, their bad karma in the past, they need not suffer under the hands of demonic beings in hellish kingdoms. Such people who are large in number have to take birth in this material world through those wombs which guarantee such a punishment. You, my dear friend, is one friend of mine who was born and is still a servant serving me and my kingdom. You are not financially secure. These sinners who are in a majority in the society of those who are waiting to be born and get punished, have some of them get a birth through your womb. They have been born in your household so that they may work out their sinful karmas by serving the kingdom, us, and the society for their bad deeds. This we can do only when they remain either servants or slaves and toil night and day to work out their bad seeds of karma. That is the reason why these people are born through your womb, and that is why you have got 10 children. Whereas the saints and the holy people are in a minority. Even among them, almost 50% have already got liberated. Of the 50, there are people who have to be born in such wombs that they come here as a reward for their past good deeds. This can happen only when either they are born in the family of very highly educated and respected people, or in the womb of a queen or a princess like me, who will come here, they become princes or queens, and then they will also rule this kingdom after I pass. Such people or such roles, souls, such people or such souls are a rarity. If such a rare soul has to be born in my womb, such a person should have done something very, very good so that his or her birth in my womb or through my womb will be a gift or a present to that particular soul in his or her future lifetime. Probably that is the reason why nobody has been selected or elected to be born through my womb by the Supreme Personality of Godhead or destiny. That is still that is the reason why still I do not have any issues. Any boy or girl born through my womb will become either a prince or a princess, whereas those who are already born through your womb will live here as either slaves or servants to the very prince or princess that will be born through my womb. This hit the bull's eye like an arrow. It hit the psyche of the servant who was now fairly chastised. The queen was happy that she had put her own point across without hurting her best friend, that servant. This seems to me like a truth. The fact is probably that sinners are more in number than saints in this world. As we have discussed in some of my previous videos, 75% of this society are normal human beings. They are a potpourri of good, bad, and indifferent karma while they live their own lives in a lifetime. Of the other 25, 20% are decidedly demonic and hellish. These people are extremely sinful, as a result of which sooner or later they get qualified to become inhabitants of hellish kingdom. But only 5% are those who are extremely saintly, spiritual, holy, and who are poised to get self realized, liberated, and delivered. In such a case, anyone who has reached a level of intellectual achievement or spiritualism to some extent may pass on without completing all his or her karma in this lifetime. Such a person, when he or she chooses to be born in this world, has to select some holy, successful, or transcendental womb so that he or she may be born here to work out his or her holy past karma. On the other hand, those who are hellish by nature and who are progressing towards hellish kingdoms are born in such hellish wombs that they will go through a lot of turmoil and toil in their lifetime so that either they come back to the humanity or get more qualified for hellish kingdom. These are the 20% of the society. The previous holy were only 5% of the society. Now remain the 75% normal people. Depending upon the karma of these ordinary human beings in the society who constitute 75% of the society, these guys get born in various wombs when they pass on in their previous lifetime and come back here to work out their new life of prarabdha karma. Among them, some may get a middle class life and some, according to their past karma and their prarabdha karma, may get life in poor families. As we all know, there are 4 lakh species of human beings in this society. These commoners may be born in such species of human beings in this society where it will be easy for them to work out their past karma. This is what the queen wanted to tell the servant. The servant belongs to this 75% humanity, whereas the queen belonged to the cream de la cream, being 5% of the society. Neither the queen nor the servant were punished to belong to the 20% hellish percentage of this society, so it can be ruled out. However, because this servant belonged to the 75% ordinary humanity, that is the very reason why he gave birth to 10 children in 10 years, while the 5% bracket queen could not give birth to even one. We shall discuss about this topic in my next video. Kindly let me know what you think of my talk on this matter. Please give me your own expert opinions, thoughts, and ideas plus views so that I may blend everything together for the sake of this society. Before concluding, let me remind you that I am also a published author with Amazon Kindle and paperback. I write on spiritualism, fiction, and assorted subjects. Spiritualism happens to be my favorite subject. Till we meet in my next video, it is good morning from TSV Raghavan.